Welcome everyone to Wrestling is Cool, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. I'm Santi. This is Sancho. Sancho, the people don't know, but I already stumbled over my words. I've already messed up this intro, so I can't mess it up again. Sancho, just take this microphone away from me before I screw it up again.
Oh man, just like LA Knight, dude. Are you chewing on gum? That was so bizarre to me. That was so bizarre. And what a record time for the Wrestling is Cool podcast to mention LA Knight. Yeah, already people are like, oh, not listening to this
one. I'm done. We're going to see our drop-off rate just instant. Oh, God, the LA Knight guy's at it again. Yeah, when he choked on gum, I don't know why. It was way funnier than it had any right to be.
It's like a fly flew in his mouth.
Yes.
He went, and he went, by anyone but me, something like that.
Well, folks, welcome to Wrestling is Cool, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. We are just coming off the heels of Backlash. The King and Queen of the Ring tournament have already begun, and you could, of course, be getting this episode early over on Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, where well over 1,500 of you are already supporting, 1,500 plus of you that are getting this episode free, that are getting the Raw review, the SmackDown review for this week. And you're going to be getting a plethora of extra content with the Wrestling is Cool Match Club and more content that we're thinking about as well. And an existing video on there for you of a Sancho Q&A, a whole hour with just Sancho.
Just me. And I had like over 69 questions.
Nice.
Nice. I had over 69 questions. So thank you so much to the people at Patreon. And it's just a variety of questions from my real life to wrestling content to gaming content. And I absolutely, love to know the people out there. And, it's not for me, when it comes to creating content, it's not a one-sided kind of thing type of thing. Santi? It's like, I love what we have going on with the Patreon. They give Matt suggestions. We give the reviews, a lot of value in the Patreon. And we're going to continue to push it. We're going to continue to round it out. We're going to squeeze every ounce of that dollar or Canadian dollar, whatever you have. We do appreciate your love, and we do appreciate that, and that's why we want to give back to you as much as we can.
For sure. And it is growing like weeds at the moment. But Sancho.
Like Sancho Mania, right?
No, that thing is dead. It's dead and buried. It's a bad gimmick by bad creative.
Just because you got your dumb face on Backlash, you'll be forever in the historical canon. I hate it. I'm gonna go back and we're gonna watch a future archive, and your face is gonna be right next to Cody Rhodes' first title defense. I hate it,
dude. Story time with Santi for a second regarding that. Okay. All right. So for my live stream and my social medias for Backlash, I had a casino sponsor. And they wanted to be cutesy and fun. And one of the bets that they do is odds that somebody will show up. So they had odds that Jacob Fatu would show up, odds that Cena would show up, Uncle Howdy, you get it, right? They thought it'd be funny and cute to add odds that SantiZap shows up, and they did
1,000, right?
Yeah, it was plus 1,000 on the odds that I would show up because obviously I wasn't gonna show up. So now that this picture of me appears on Backlash, people are like, "Hey, that counts. We need to pay that out." So I know that there's a huge internal debate within my sponsor as to whether or not they should pay that out, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I think that the marketing team is like, yeah, let's pay it out. This is hilarious. This is great marketing. But I think that their actual brains behind the numbers and operations of a casino are we can't pay out on a picture because what if people start bringing pictures of Jacob Fatu and saying that this counts? So I think it's a hilarious situation. It's very Seinfeld, just hijinks like that.
It reminds me of The Office. You remember when Michael puts the tickets into the shipping boxes, the golden tickets?
Yes.
And one company gets them all? That's what it reminds me of.
It is kind of like that. But whoever brought that sign, thank you. I put out a bounty of SantiZap signs on Twitter. Anyone that brings a SantiZap sign or a Wrestling is Cool sign, whether it's to a WWE show, AEW show, TNA show, a backyard wrestling show, televised, non-televised, if you can prove that you brought a wrestling is cool or SantiZap sign, I will follow you, I will retweet it, and I will let the world know about you. If you appear on TV, we'll talk about you on the podcast, and I'll talk about you in a YouTube video. That's the bounty, folks. Get out there, bring your signs, bring your SantiZap face, bring your Santi Slim sign. What, I can't, you can be obnoxious with Sancho Mania and it's cute, but I do it and it's,
I'm adorable.
Define that. How are you any more adorable than me? I want to understand how you are quantifying this.
Someone asked me on Patreon, what's going to be our match stipulation? If we had a match, Santi versus Sancho, it would be the who's the most adorable. Is that what you're going for? I think it's gonna be podcast on a pole.
Ooh,
pod on a pole.
Ooh, yes, the pod on a pole. We could do microphone on a pole. We could do
a bull rope match, but a microphone.
Yeah. We could
like I hit you with the microphone, so go. Boom.
I like that. Yeah, loser leaves podcast. So you mentioned
be upset when I win, though, wouldn't it?
Hey, dude, have you seen me?
I would cheat.
Oh, you'd have to.
Big,
dude. I'm a monster.
You are the Braun Stroman of the podcasting world, dude. Dude, did you see Braun on Raw? That dude was so massive.
Dude, I love that he's come back like that. I love that he's come back with the big, beefy, scary Braun Strowman because he had like abs. Last time that he was in the WWE.
He's a barrel of a man and his voice is so deep. He's like, hey, brother, how you doing, Ricochet? I can't even get that low. It's impossible.
Have you seen his interview with Denise Salcedo?
Oh, with Denise?
Denise Salcedo about his breakfast?
What is it? I'm sure he has smelly farts.
It is... I can't recite it word for word, but it is horrifying. It had to be like 1,700 calories on just one sitting of breakfast. It's so bizarre the amount of food that he eats that Triple H was overhearing the conversation, and he says, he's like, I'm not paying that catering bill.
Oh yeah, it was on the red carpet, right? It was on the red carpet. Yeah. I remember that. I can't barely eat like more than I need to because I'm trying to like.
Are you a breakfast eater?
Intake.
Are you like a morning eater?
Morning oats. I got my oats right now.
That's not an eater though. Like no. I'm not trying to disparage you. I'm sorry. Did I hit you in the feelings?
Give me something here. You take away Sancho Mania. You take away LA Knight. Now you're taking away me oats. That's what you're coming after me oats, brother.
I'm not trying to take your oats, brother. I'm just trying to say that when I say a morning eater, I mean those people that are like eating full-blown plates of actual food.
I'm not eating apparently. Yeah.
No, that's nothing. That's child's play. That's bird food. That's not food.
I only
eat me oats, brother.
Me oats, brother. I'm only eating big meals on like brunch weekends. Like that's the only time I eat a big meal.
Brunch. Question about brunch.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you have brunch by yourself? Or do you need to go out with somebody else? Either a friend, significant other, friend, or do you think it's weird to go to brunch solo?
Dude, solo. That's what I thought about.
We could talk about solo at brunch.
Yeah, you could. Brunch is not a social event. It is a time to eat.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? Because
you're going with the Hobbit route
combined. I guess I'm not a nerd like you.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. What's that shirt say?
It says Nintendo 64.
I rest my case. International PLEs, man, dude. That French crowd was nuts. That French crowd.
The breakfast sucks. Dude, American breakfast is where it's at.
Europeans. I'm not American, all right? So I want to tell you that I have no dog in this fight. America's got you on breakfast. I don't know what's going on with European breakfasts, but y'all don't eat, all right? Y'all don't eat. What's going on over there?
They eat a lot of like what in England's like beans and bread.
Okay,
and all
they know they're wrong for that. Yeah, they know that the bean. They know they're aware. They're self-aware.
What they do is they definitely are a better crowd than we are.
Oh my goodness. Not even close.
This Monday Night Raw proved that poor Jey Uso, they were really trying to get that magic again, and you could see the camera angles, and I'm like, hey man, it ain't it.
I
We can't do it.
appreciated the Cleveland Cavaliers trying, but it was a pathetic attempt.
It ain't it. But man, that Backlash crowd. Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. It's quite interesting to me how, as a performer, and I could only say this on such a minute level because I have performed in front of a live audience, and even like from different levels of theater, like from children's theater all the way up to like college theater, you could feel a crowd. You could really feel how engaged they are, and you could feel that energy. And when they're locked in and you're locked in, it just makes your performance so free. And I could bet that those wrestlers, probably for the first time in a long time, like Randy Orton, you could just feel this weight, like you're flying on ecstasy almost. It's euphoric to be able to perform in front of a crowd like that. And that to me is so cool because some of those wrestlers on that card will probably never reach that level again. If you could really think about, like Naomi definitely got so much love that she probably wouldn't only maybe close get on her hometown. But that French crowd was incredible. What was your thoughts about that crowd?
I love them. I saw some people complaining online that they were too much, that they
Vince
were
Russo was one of them, yeah.
that were taking away from the show. And like, I think that to me that shows a lack of understanding of cultural differences when it comes to how certain areas of the world react to sports. If you go to Japan, is like a completely different world. In terms of how their audience reacts. It's a different type of respect that's being shown. In Europe and in North America, respect is shown with loudness, but in North American sports, the appreciation comes out of the audience when the big thing happens. When the score happens, when the basket, when the touchdown happens, that is when the crowd reacts. And my understanding, like, because I was talking this through with a friend, is we are, as a North American crowd, trying to appreciate and respect what's happening in the lead up to it. That's like the cultural reason as to why we celebrate the big thing and just the big thing. Right. Meanwhile, the European crowd, rather than just celebrating the thing that happens, they celebrate the entire experience. So it is like, like when I watch a wrestling show, I think objectively I like the European model more of bringing energy to the entire show as opposed to just bringing energy to the areas that I guess we're supposed to bring energy to. Kind of like how, you go to a recording of a sitcom and it tells you laugh, Yep. They're not waiting for the cue. They're just experiencing the moment and bringing in energy from the second that the show starts all the way through to the very end. There are moments where they get more excited, but I think why I like this type of crowd more is because it makes the typically mundane and rudimentary into something special, like a 2 count. When have we ever appreciated a 2 count? Unless it's like, kicking out of the pedigree, the sweet chin music. But they were getting excited over basic, first 2 minutes of the match 2 counts. Like that to me is so cool because it means that every aspect of what they're doing is getting celebrated.
I think where the most interesting thing is, I feel like an American crowd often sits on their hands for matches that they don't have interest in, or they don't want to expend their energy until the end. And then I think that's where there's that huge disconnect, that even though, let's say, that triple threat of Naomi, Bayley, and Tiffany, there's only a certain American crowd that would appreciate it as much as that French crowd. And that's where I feel like where the American crowds kind of hurt themselves the most, when they say, well, we're saving our energy for the main event, or we're saving our energy for the match that we want to see. The Philadelphia crowd really did suffer because it was cold and frigid, but there's a lot of other aspects that the WWE should take away. And I tweeted this out, where, like in Philly, the open air stadium doesn't work. It's great for ticket sales, I'm sure, and it makes a lot of money, and it's great for the spectacle of it. But I feel like, you hear this many times from wrestlers in different interviews, is that they say that the sound comes in waves. Like something happens and then you hear the crowd that's near you react to it, and then it keeps going and going and going. And that it's very difficult to perform in a stadium like that. And I think The Rock has said plenty of times before where you kind of have to be a little bit more slower and methodical. So the WWE should consider more international shows, but in an enclosed arena. Yes. Because Perth suffered so much being outdoors, and they didn't have that SmackDown before the actual event, the Elimination Chamber, because Rhea did not get the same kind of love as AJ Styles did in France. And to me, Rhea, at that moment of time, and still is, she would have got a huge pop just walking out with her belt. And so there's so much that you could take away from it. But just to play devil's advocate and to hear the other side, I do understand what you mentioned about building up to the crescendo. And I feel sometimes if you're at a 10 all times, it's so difficult to punch that moment to an 11. And so that is where sometimes I feel where a lot of the American audience who are watching at home were kind of, a lot of them were off-put by that French crowd because they were treating everything with 10s. You know, does that make sense? Like in terms of intensity. And so when they had kicked it up to an 11, by that point, you're like, I'm already tuned out. But I agree. As a wrestling fan for myself, energy, feeling that goosebumps, feeling the excitement when they're stomping on the seats and you're hearing rumble, and then freaking, was it AJ Styles' camera is just bumping up in that, and he's like, phenomena, and you're just like, I'm in, dude. I'm like, that's been stuck in my head for like days, man. Days.
Dude, their treatment of AJ Styles, whether it was on purpose or not on purpose, because of like, you know, that just being a song in celebration culture in France, like it was just kind of a perfect storm. Whether WWE intended that to be the case or not, I highly doubt it. But that crowd really showed out for AJ Styles, and I really feel like AJ really showed out for them, because I feel like he removed any sort of doubt that he was washed up. And I want to talk about, you know, AJ Styles in a second, but in terms of international crowds, I'm of the mind that they should just take these B PLEs and just take them around the world. Like, I get, you know, not wanting to bring the giant WrestleMania stages and all the big stuff over to, and like the big four over to like outside of the United States, because you're going to make the biggest gate in the United States at the lowest operational cost as well, because I'm sure it's expensive to ship things over to Europe. We saw apparently the nightmare that it was to get the Elimination Chamber in Australia because of pirates and stuff. Dude, yeah, right. So, dude, who has pirates as like their, you know, as an expense line? Something that they have to expense at the end of the year, dealt with pirates. Defense. Yeah, pirate defense.
Have you seen the pirate defense? What they do? They put like spikes down, and they put like anti-ladders, like hoses and stuff like that. Some crazy stuff.
Are you on Ocean TikTok?
It comes across every now and then.
Yeah. Does your Ocean TikTok have the yo ho?
Oh, I skip that stuff. That's too scary for me, bro.
You don't like it?
No, that's too scary for me.
Those are the best ones,
dude,
man.
Dude, the sea is a mysterious thing, man. Do you believe in sirens?
I don't believe in sirens, but I do believe in something down there, dude. There's no way that's the deep is scary.
Deep. You think it's like Atlantis?
No, I just think that there's monsters and demons. I think it might be the gateway to the nether realm or something.
Dude, that's your Latin flavor coming
out. It definitely is. Okay, Sancho. Lost in space or lost in the deep sea?
Lost like at sea at the top level or down below?
No, you're down below. Let's just say you're on a submersible.
I'd rather be lost in space, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that feels like it's less claustrophobic for some reason. But in the void in space, you can't hear. But I just don't like feeling that pressure underwater. There's so much pressure down there, dude.
Yeah. Not as much pressure as AJ Styles was facing with that. Dude, come on. That was a pretty good transition. That was good. Dude, I was like, damn, how do we get out of Ocean Talk? I accidentally got us in here.
What's amazing to me is for a heel not to break. Because Bayley breaks when she's a heel and she hears that, her Bayley chant, right, internationally. But for AJ to keep his straight, like, I know I'm a heel, but he kind of played into it in a subtle way. Like, I'm going to let it breathe. I'm not going to cut him off. I'm not going to tell him to shut up. I'm just going to let it be its thing. And I honestly, how can you not turn AJ face at this point? I believe they should. Even though they are lacking heels on SmackDown, besides Bloodline, I think it'd be quite interesting to see, because AJ deserves another run. Clearly, he has put in the time in his physique and the discipline in his physique to go for another run.
I just think that as a face, he blends in too much with what's already going on up there, because you've got babyface LA Knight, you got face Cody Rhodes, you got face Randy Orton, you got face Kevin Owens. So there's just already so much going on there. But I do feel like a heel AJ Styles gives us the opportunity for him to revisit a main event opportunity. But I don't see a babyface AJ Styles at the moment climbing back up to getting a title shot at a WWE PLE.
I feel like AJ, and I know this is going to be strange to say because he is a heel, should go after Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul and AJ Styles will put on a banger of a match.
Oh, that'd be so good. So good.
And it'd be so good. And I know Logan would probably eat AJ alive in the promos, but I love it when AJ gets frustrated genuinely because that country boy in him comes out. But have you ever seen AJ Styles play video games on Up, Up, Down, Down?
I have, yes.
Oh, it is the best. I've never seen. He rages. He has gamer rage.
He gets mad. He's got gamer rage.
he gets so mad because he loves video games, and he's the kind of guy that thinks he has it still when he comes to playing video games, and then he'll get beat by like a button masher, and he would just get so mad. Dude. But that's what I wanted LA Knight to destroy one of his arcades, because he has this arcade collection that he's so proud for, and I was like, it'd be so funny if he LA Knight destroyed one of those bad boys.
I mean, that's just assault, brother. You're advocating for the destruction of personal property.
What I am advocating for is LA Knight. I want you to admit right here, right now, that LA Knight's pop in France was stone cold quality.
Dude, I could have gone in front of that French crowd and just done little simple magic tricks. And I would have gotten these insane pops. Like,
wait, whoa.
I messed it up. But dude, that's nothing. Dude, that's like bragging about being the principal of a homeschool right now. All right. Anyone could have gone out there and gotten that pop. I could have gone out there. I could have gotten a pop, legendary pop, the best pop. I know about pops.
You can't even let your LA Knight hater your dome down for a second.
No, that pop was awesome. That pop was awesome. It was.
And you know what it proved to me, that considering back to Backlash, is that the 5-match kind of, people, that's been a debate too, is 5 matches enough? I think it should be 5 to 7. There is room on that card for LA Knight. There is room on that card for LA Knight and somebody else.
To have done what? With who?
It doesn't matter.
You want him and Angel Garza on Backlash? He was doing nothing.
Sure. Him and Santos would have been fine. Carlito, something for LA Knight.
I think the 5 matches were perfect.
Why are we limiting ourselves to 5 matches? Where's the backstage segment? Where's LA Knight backstage just to get a pop for just showing up, for hanging out? He's there. A lot of the talent is there. Are you telling me that this roster is not deep enough for more than 5 matches?
The show
and no backstage segments. No backstage segments. You want video packets, match. Video packets, match. That's all you want at your PLE. And by the way, on the Peacock channel here in the States, I'm not a member of Peacock Plus, so I don't get those video packages, all right? I just get matches. I want a little bit more, all right? I want a little bit more ganache.
Ganache? Define ganache real quick for us.
So it's a chocolate glaze, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a chocolate little, I've been watching the British Bake Off. It's a little like
we're in chocolatier. We're in chocolatier part of the episode.
We're in the deep waters, baby.
Wait, what were we just talking about? Right, LA Knight and Backlash.
LA Knight had room there's room for LA Knight. No,
there wasn't. There was already.
Yes, there was.
No, dude, it went to 3 hours. Okay, where would you cut time? Because what match are you sacrificing? Because I'm not sacrificing.
What match am I sacrificing?
Yeah, what match are you sacrificing? There's no match that deserves sacrificing. They're all good.
Let's see. You could cut a tourism package away. There was a lot of tourism packages on Perth. Yes, there was. There's a lot of Australian commercials.
Okay,
I know that pays the bills.
It pays the bill. Okay, but that's you're
telling me you can't spare 2 minutes.
I feel like you're trying to cut things out that allow the WWE to be there.
It's in the first Peacock channel. It's a PLE. You could add 5 minutes for somebody.
But do you want 5 minutes? Do you want a 5-minute match? Because
I would love a 3-minute promo from LA Knight, a backstage segment. Can you give me that? Can you meet me halfway?
You got it on SmackDown. That's what SmackDown and Raw is for. I want premium. I want live
If there was room for your dumb face on Backlash, there's room for LA Knight.
Are you just mad that I got more TV time than LA Knight at Backlash?
Dude, that is fact, actually.
I know. That's actually facts. Okay, so dude, we're all over the place, but welcome to Wrestling is Cool. We're still on Backlash, but international crowds really quick. Yes, brother. I'm of the mind that they should, all the BPLEs should go international to allow these international crowds to experience a big production WWE show that isn't just a house show, allows these international crowds to get showcased. But these B pay-per-views, typically on paper, when you compare it to a WrestleMania card, are underwhelming because they're smaller cards and not all of the heavy hitters are there, right? Like Backlash didn't have Becky Lynch, for example, right? I just feel like these international crowds for these B tier PLEs can elevate the PLE from being it's just another Fastlane to must-watch TV. I gotta watch Fastlane because I gotta see what the crowd in Rome is gonna be like. I gotta see what the crowd in Budapest is gonna. Dude, I don't know what's the Budapest crowd like, because then the crowd becomes a selling point for these BPLEs as well. Like, I am sure we talked about the production cost. It's got to be infinitely cheaper to produce in the United States, but there's clearly money to be made in Europe, because didn't they just mention that the SmackDown was the highest gate in SmackDown history?
In an arena SmackDown history.
Yeah.
Yes, the biggest gate. There is some costs that are lower in Europe from what I remember, like production costs. That's why a lot of esports shoot in over there, like the actual have the production in Denmark for like an American esport. So there is some ways they could cut things in that front. I think when it comes down to it, it's going to create a lot of these European cities and countries to compete with each other, because already after France and Backlash, I had people like, oh, just wait for a Clash at the Castle. We're going to be a lot better. The Scotland crowd is better. And there's a lot of people saying that the Scottish crowd was better at last year's Clash of the Castle. And I want to watch that again because I wanted to compare to see the two, because I remember that moment where where it was Roman versus Drew, how close it was that Drew was going to win, and that crowd was white hot too. And I feel that, trying to go back to that moment, I feel like that Scottish crowd is that right mixture of European and American, just like that Toronto crowd. See, I didn't see the T there. The Toronto crowd is the same thing between of a good mix of getting really into it and letting the moments breathe.
Yes, I think the Toronto crowd is loud by the standards of how American crowds like consume their wrestling, right? Cheering, we cheer in the same moments that the Americans typically cheer. It's just that it's just
louder.
Typically much louder. Yeah, I did have some Germans being like, that was nothing. Just wait until we are here in Berlin. That's the dog. That's the voice that I do for my dog, who's a wiener dog, who's then German. I'm the Dachshund, so I'm the dog Johnson. You don't like my German accent.
No. I don't want to lose our German audience.
No,
please.
Man, the Germans love, dude. We're the David Hasselhoff of wrestling podcasts over in Germany. Did you not know that? We're popular there.
Are we?
Yeah, we got some good viewership over in Germany.
All right, in the Deutschland. I appreciate
in the Deutschland.
I do not want to even know what your French accent sounds like.
No, we can't go into that.
Please don't.
No, I actually don't have a bad one because of French Canada, right? Like you start doing a lot of those accents as a kid. Anyways, yeah,
I got a question for you.
Okay, yeah.
Before we move on, where would you rank this international crowd? Does it beat Puerto Rico?
Yes.
What?
I do think it beats Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico.
Champea!
Dude, oh no, okay, hang on. I think overall, as a crowd for the entire show, I like the French crowd more. But as a singular moment for the crowd, I don't think that the French crowd had a moment that is gonna quite stick like Chambea. When
A lot of people think Jay's entrance was close,
no. Here's the difference. Jay's entrance was manufactured to get that reaction.
Yes, it was.
The Bad Bunny one, that was not manufactured. That they couldn't have planned for a reverse concert. Mm-hmm. So I give the Backlash moment with Chambea that extra bit more of like a couple extra points because it was so organic. The Jey Uso, clearly that's what they were going for, and they nailed it because it was fantastic. I think from beginning to end, the French crowd is better, but the singular moment, Chambea, to me, that's still the greatest crowd interaction moment of all time. But, dude, you mentioned the Jey Uso bit, but I don't even think that was the best crowd moment. I think the best crowd moment was the crowd chanting during AJ Styles' introduction and the camera shaking. I think that was, to me, the moment that's gonna stick out.
Randy getting sung too. That was amazing.
Dude, I was like, dude, these French people, they don't know the words. They're pretending because I'm pretending to sing it. That's what I would do.
To me,
I hear what he's crying. I hear people. I hear. It's like I know you don't know it.
Isn't it crazy that Randy does not like that song? He doesn't hype him up.
No, it does.
He wishes he had another song.
Really?
Yeah, because he said in an interview like he wishes he had another song because it doesn't like get him going like amped as much as like others. Because imagine that crowd with Batista's song.
Oh, I walk alive.
Yeah.
This is a terrible episode for audio listeners.
No, they love it. They love it.
Okay,
they
so
love it so
the
much.
other big thing that happened at Backlash is the debut reintroduction of Camacho, now known as Tanga Loa. And there was a corner of the internet being like, Santi, you're this big of a wrestling content creator?
You're the WWE TikToker. That's
the
who you are.
WWE TikToker doesn't know who Tanga Loa is? And what's funny is that in that conversation that was happening, 99% of the people were like, yeah, dude, most people didn't know who Tanga Loa, like, it's okay to not know every wrestler on the planet. And then the New Japan fans were like, I wish he didn't have to know who Tanga Loa is. A lot of New Japan fans don't like Tanga Loa.
That's so bizarre to me. I mean, for me, I thought the reason why it was so off-putting was because everyone thought it was Jacob Fatu was coming out. And yes. For a split second, I was like, wait, did he clean up his look for a second? Because I was like, why would he cut his hair?
Yeah.
Because he's the Samoan werewolf, right? So Samoan werewolf. So I was like so excited to see Jacob Fatu. I did not expect Tanga Loa. That was like the last person I expected, which is such an obvious thing because it's the brother of Tanga. That's hard to say, by the way. Tanga Loa and Tama
Tonga. You got this. Tama Tonga Loa. It's not that hard, man.
It is hard.
You're pretending to you're coping by trying to tell everyone it's hard. It's not that hard. No. Tanga Loa, Tama Loa. Damn it!
Yes. Anyway, those two are really well known in New Japan. Once I knew who it was, I knew of him because of his Gorillas of Destiny run, 7-time tag team champion in New Japan. And Bullet Club is what I don't do that. Those are kind of things I hurt, dude. If someone hits you, he probably has like really heavy hands. Okay, for those audio listeners, again, this probably is the worst episode. You're missing out Santi's impression of Tanga Loa doing against Okada, where he does these weird. Anyway. The worst machine gun
Go look him
chops.
up. Go look him up. I didn't do them justice.
By the way, IlJA had some sick machine gun chops. Woo! Woo! That's how you do it. But they are really good at the Bullet. I actually love Bullet Club, and the Gorillas of Destiny's theme song is so good. It's so slimy and it's so grungy. And Bullet Club, when it's first came to be, because they were part of it at the beginning, especially Tama Tonga. Tanga because he was a part of it. They were a vibe, man, and that was started to get me back into wrestling early on because the Bullet Club just felt so like NWO-ish, but in a different vibe because they weren't big hulking guys like 6', 7-footer guys. They weren't like a Scott Hall and Kevin Nash like the Outsiders or Hogan. They were just like regular dudes that just had that edge to them. And they kept adding people that just kept making it cooler and cooler as time goes on. I mean, look at the history of the Bullet Club. And to have those two into WWE and the potential matches they could have as a tag team, I'm excited for them, man.
Do you think it's in inevitability that we're going to get Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Usos here? You think that's where they're going?
It has to. It has to. It's one of those matches that we've always wanted to see. It's going to be good. The only one thing I did not like about that street fight is I wanted to see Tama Tonga actually wrestle, because I think like he gets the details right. That him dragging the chair across the ring is so scary and it's so good, and he works so well in every of the wrestling moves that he did. And that dude is crazy, and he will take a Darby Allin type spot. That whatever the brainbuster, the inverted suplex, or whatever you want to call it, that never suplexed Kevin Owens. It was nasty, and he took it like, ugh. And that to me, that what gets me excited. But are you worried about Tanga and his reputation?
I allow people to taint their own reputation. Like I don't let other people taint their reputation for me. So I'm joking about seeing those clips, and they're funny.
He almost missed that spot with the ref, bro.
That's the thing, right? I'm letting Tanga Loa ruin his own reputation for me, and it's already off to a rough start. But I didn't see it at first, so shout out to the referee how he pulled that off, and shout out to the camera team for hiding it. But Tanga Loa completely missed his spot. He missed his cue to the point where, I don't know if you catch it, Sancho, the ref pulls himself out.
Yeah.
And that
I don't
ref,
know how too.
That dude, he defied gravity. I don't know how the ref did that. But think about like how cruddy it is to miss that spot. Obviously accidents happen, but he damaged his debut. It could have damaged the entire match. It would have damaged the rest of the PLE because that was the opener. And dude, if he wasn't there, like imagine had he actually stayed under the ring, you know who would have looked like the biggest dumbass? The ref, who was doing his job. This like everybody's got to pull together and do their part. And Tanga Loa straight up missed that spot. The ref saved Tanga Loa's WWE career. I genuinely believe that, because if the match ended there because of Tanga Loa being too late and the ref not having the awareness of it, he would have been done. He would have been done right off the onset.
So where does Jacob Fatu fit in all this? Is he Roman? Because can they keep adding to Solo Sokola's bloodline? The other like negative in it, and I use that word lightly, is I was hoping that Solo Sikoa would look like more like a monster here. He didn't look like what they were building up to from SmackDown. He wasn't wearing his black gloves, and he didn't have that vibe that he was still running this group. I would have liked that if he doesn't have to dominate Randy Orton or Kevin Owens. Like if he was more coaching and telling people what to do, or go get him, do that, being more of that kind of presence versus what he has been, which is just someone who gets beat up a lot. That's my only knock about, those are my two knocks about that entire thing. And I think that, to answer my own question, and I'd like to hear yours, I think Jacob Fatu does join Solo's bloodline. It just has to be this overwhelming like presence for Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, and maybe Sammy to overcome the new bloodline.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm doing numbers. I'm doing math in my head. If you add Jacob Fatu to that, we're already at 4 members of Bloodline 2.0. And then presumably all being puppeteered by The Rock. Then now we're at 5 by Mama Rhodes, Bloodline Rules, who's apparently now taking up MMA. But
does he look so scary?
Dude, he's terrifying. Dude, imagine The Rock in a mounted position. You're done. It's over. It's over, kid.
But then, say it. He's gonna have a 6 submission when he comes back, dude.
I agree, dude. I agree.
Warlock, maybe.
So that's 4 members to Bloodline 2.0 plus The Rock. Right? No. Yeah. Yes. That would make it 4 members, and then you add The Rock. We're at 5. I feel like numerically it makes actually more sense for Jacob Fatu to be with the Usos and Roman, because then we have a 4v4 right there.
Yeah, but he's not a face, dude. He's just not a face.
Yeah, but they can have the Roman-led bloodline that on paper is face not behave like faces. I don't expect Roman, when he comes back as a babyface, to be kissing babies and shaking hands. I think it's the same character. I think it's the same evil tribal chief that is just on a different side and has a common enemy with the rest of WWE viewers. But I think you could still have heel feeling bloodline where, yeah, again, they're going against the actual heels. So Jacob Fatu could fit there personally.
Yeah. I think it would just be a waste of Jacob Fatu, though, because he's like a very scary heel.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can make that argument with him joining solos.
Okay, let's say if Jacob Fatu just joined solo, who could be that fourth? Because Jay, Jimmy, Roman, it'd be the original bloodline.
Jay, Jimmy, right? Roman, and then Sami Zayn. It'd be Sami, because Sami joined before Solo Sikoa. So it's possible that could be the case. That's
to me, that's the best bloodline. That's the best bloodline.
That is the best bloodline. Sami just like doing his little shimmies and dances in the background.
You know, and I'm out there and I'm just dancing. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're dancing." Yeah, I'm just dancing in his head. Those are my best. Those are the best moments. I feel that's what made wrestling feel so fun. And I think if the bloodline could recapture that, because they kind of did when The Rock was back, the final boss, because he was like, even Solo's gonna sing the national anthem, and it's like, come on, Solo. Oh, that's Solo smiling. Like,
yeah, they've kind of missed a bit of that charm that they had with Sami Zayn. The charm was definitely brought back with The Rock. It was like a bipolar experience with The Rock, though, because sometimes you'd get, really fun-loving Rock, and then, the next he's a serial killer. It's great stuff.
Great stuff, man. I can't believe it. Now, I know we're still talking about Backlash a little bit. I want to quickly point out, are you completely off Uncle Howdy?
I'm not off Uncle Howdy. I weirdly got back into it because I called Uncle Howdy's number and I was like, ooh. It got spooky because there's this really spooky pre-recorded message. So that actually got me. So I actually did the Easter egg hunt this time and I'm like, okay, I'm in. All right. But that was the perfect crowd for Uncle Howdy.
No,
that was the perfect crowd to bring back Uncle Howdy. It seems from rumors that this isn't going to have Alexa Bliss. This isn't going to have a super recognizable face helping anchor this group, that it's going to be a lot of misfits. And I think that's going to be the gimmick, right? That it's just these people that you stop believing in, that they're going to now make you believe. I think that's what they're going for. And I just feel like it's just not going to hit if they do it at King of the Ring.
No.
If they do it, I feel like it would have been an instant lifeline for a new group and a new gimmick that is desperately going to. I don't think that they're going to struggle. I think that if they are introduced in front of the wrong crowd, they're going to be fighting an unnecessary uphill battle to get fans excited about what they're doing. Because if they come out, in the middle of like that Raw we just saw, it wouldn't have hit. It wouldn't have hit. And then the next week they would have been trying to get the crowd involved, trying to get people excited. But had they just started off with a big old high at France, ended the show with that, not attacking Cody, just ended the show with their reintroduction, that would have been amazing. It would have been the thing you talked about after that amazing show.
What I've seen from the latest teaser that happened on Raw, and thanks to Metal Mama, part of my community, she kind of did some work alongside with some of her people. Their QR code has Roman numerals that says 5/25, May 25th. May 25th is Bo Dallas's birthday. May 25th is the day of King and Queen of the Ring.
Sorry, what was the name of the username that
Metal Mama.
Metal Mama. Mama Metal.
Yeah. She's a long time comedian. She's cool.
Go.
Yeah, dude. Like that's the thing about it. I agree with you. We called that Backlash would have been the time to release it, and I bet you Triple H is like, dang, we should have done it there because you could literally had Shockmaster could have came back and people would have been like, yeah,
it would have been amazing.
Shockmaster's coming back. But regardless, I'm still on board with Uncle Howdy because it presents the supernatural, and I feel like the supernatural is missing in wrestling. Have you seen what Lio Rush has been doing?
No.
Lio Rush is now call himself the Black Heart.
Okay.
And he has a fake heart that he drinks black blood out of, and he has this like supernatural gimmick that he's been working on the indies, and he has these like white eye contacts and stuff like that, and he has like this sick body art that he has like a heart and it's like black. It's kind of like Finn Balor a little bit, and it's really cool. Like I'm excited to see where that goes, and I think that's what's missing in Triple H's era. And then we talked about it before, the supernatural. But I think this is high risk, though. You talked about if this fails, I don't know, man. Like, you can't have another creative idea from Bray Wyatt, and whoever is helming this, whether it be a Bo in terms of just the creative aspect of it, it has to be at the right place. And the Saudi crowd, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Who do you want the first feud for this faction to be with?
It should have been Cody.
Maybe. I think it could have been Cody, but it would have just been a death sentence. They would have lost. They would have lost.
No, that's again, like, people don't need to understand supernatural wrestlers are not about winning or losing. It's about getting reactions out of your audience and making the whatever wrestler that they're facing reach a certain level or get an epiphany about themselves. If you were to literally ask me if it's not Cody Rhodes, who did LA Knight go up against?
No, I think LA Knight's not a bad option. That's what I was thinking. It could be LA Knight or Bobby Lashley in the Pride, because Bobby Lashley is the person that last had unfinished business with Bray Wyatt. So I wouldn't mind seeing a continuation of that. What I will say,
would you imagine LA Knight being in a house by himself?
No, it'd be great.
And then weird noises happen. He's like, "Hey,
yeah." One of the things I don't want when this group comes in, obviously we love Bray Wyatt around these parts, but I didn't think that his last run was very good because there was just too much of nothing when he finally did debut. It was a lot of trying to build up.
I don't think that was Triple H's Bray, though.
You don't think so?
No, that was Vince's, man. That was still in the Vince era.
That's just not what I want. You know, I really did not like that final stretch that led into the LA Knight feud. So I want to see. I don't even know what I want to see. I want to see maybe something I've never seen before with this group.
You want to see where the people are? You want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what are they called, I think? Oh, yeah. Street.
What?
The Little Mermaid reference. Come on, man. Come on, get out of here.
Man, it's been a while.
We're talking about the sea. We talk about sirens.
That's
all
true.
This.
You know what?
Next, brother.
You did manage to connect it, brother.
It's like an Uncle Howdy teaser, dude. Come on down the path, dude. They had even had like an anagram puzzle they had to do. It's like some sort of crazy stuff. Like they had a decipher. There's some fun stuff there. There's someone who does puzzles in that. Like who they hired somebody that does like.
What's your job?
Rooms.
I'm the WWE puzzle guy.
Have you ever done an escape room before?
I hate escape rooms.
Yeah, you just know there's like, this is dumb. Get me out of here.
This is stupid. This is stupid. I would, in a real life, I would use my brute strength to beat you. Let me out.
All right, Hulk.
Give me the keys.
The sun's getting low, big guy. Come on, brother.
No, I don't like escape rooms. Anyways, go on.
Okay, you don't like escape rooms. Can we talk about Cody? Is there any other matches on the card and Backlash that you want to talk about? I mean, we did know that Jade Cargill was going to win. Shout outs to Jade and Bianca. They look great. I love their ring attire. I think it was the perfect amount of Jade action, just enough to where it does not overexpose her limited game, but the game that she has is strong, man.
Dude, Somebody in my chat compared Jade to a PC that's getting upgrades every week, right? It's just
I
like
thought that'd be Maxine, but okay.
yeah, well, because like this time around, it's like they're giving her a little bit more time every time she goes out there. She's getting
Right.
a couple of more extra moves. Dude, that finishing sequence where she where she took Kairi Sane and took her through like this like roller coaster of emotions with that move, that was insane. I think she looked great. I think Bianca might be the best potential mentor for Jade Cargill. I feel like Bianca was a great choice to pair up with.
And shout outs to Bianca for essentially, I know people will say that the tag team is a demotion, but no, I mean, this is protecting your money match that's going to happen down the road. It's going to be Jade and Bianca. So the one thing that I did enjoy the most is the reason why she has this more additional moveset is I think she's working more matches than she ever did in AEW, because I think AEW, I need to look at her match list, didn't have a lot of dark matches for her. And the WWE, that European tour that they did, they fought a lot of damage control. And if you're someone that watches a house show, and I don't know if you have this experience, Santi, but some of our viewers and listeners might, if you watch a house show before a PLE, you get a taste of what the PLE is going to be. You'll see a move, you'll see a sequence, you'll see something that they're working on, and you will see that again at the PLE at its best. So I think that's what you saw a lot of the European tour, because they fought a lot of Bianca, Jade, and damage control in terms of mixer matches. So I think Jade Cargill, having that experience with more house shows, she's going to just get better and better behind the scenes. And she's going to continue to learn how to work with the crowd, because now she's doing things different. She's now talking to the camera. She has a little bit of a Hogan thing where she's like, I can't hear you type of thing. She's doing that. So I think it's going to be... Yeah. I hope she does that. I just like how I'm glad they got rid of that dark silhouette shadow that they used to do, where she would flex in the dark. I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't see anything. I want to see the muscles. I want to see the flex. But that tag team's not going anywhere.
No.
It's somebody's gonna have to like screw them out of those belts in order to get them off them.
Yeah, what I said was that they're gonna be tag team champions until they decide not to.
Yeah,
that's just it. Like they're the ones that are gonna cause their own downfall. There's no one that's gonna properly beat them. It's gonna be shenanigans within.
I did enjoy the triple threat.
Dude, it was great.
It was great of Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany. And the reason why, again, is the buildup was so good. There was a lot of callbacks to all those SmackDown interactions that made that match so good for me.
This is actually the way the match finished. This is where a European crowd is better, because the European crowd is excited for every moment, every pin. So they were ready instantly to cheer when we had the back and forth finishing sequence of the pins, where I think it was smart that they protected Tiffany Stratton, but I think they also protected Naomi, because she didn't lose because she got beat down. She just got out-savvied by somebody that's more of a vet. I think it was a great finish. But then the crowd was already so excited for these pins that they were ready to blow the roof off the building with that finishing pin sequence, when I think the American crowd, it would have taken them, a quarter of a second to figure out that the match is over. Okay, now we get up and cheer.
It was good. It was really solid, and I think the WWE needs to stop disrespecting Bayley.
She's not on the poster for King and Queen of the Ring.
Disrespectful.
Every other champion is, except Bayley.
And doesn't she have like an Egyptian type background? Right?
I don't know.
Well, she had that entrance. I'm assuming.
I thought she was Latina.
The only thing, the reason why I could assume is she had that entrance as a pharaoh.
The entrance, yeah. She still has that Egyptian flavor to her entrance theme as well.
Right. There's that little bit of hints of that. So I definitely have to look that up. So when it comes down to the main event of Backlash, and I know you already did a review of it, I think what we need to discuss here on the podcast is, I think that was the perfect match for Cody to start his defense. And I don't think it could be any deeper than that. And I really do believe that match, pro wrestling wise, was better than Cody versus Roman. No. You got to strip away the extra accoutrements, all right? Strip away the involvement of the legends, all right? Strip away all the drama of the match. I'm talking about a pure, basic, fundamental, small moves into big moves into finishers, one crossroads, I told you that they will protect the phenomenal forearm. Was I not right about that?
Listen, I think that they're both great wrestling matches in their own right, even if you strip away all the glitz and glamour of 40.
Crowd of the French audience.
I'm not going to sit here and agree with you, but yeah, the crowd made it special for sure. It was a great match in its own right.
Traditional wrestling.
I know.
Traditional Georgia South wrestling.
You strip the crowd. It was a good technical showcase of professional wrestling. Yes.
You stripped away.
Is that?
But you're not gonna. That was
the
Black
lemur?
Panther.
Oh
no, Black Panther.
Oh, the powers of the Black Panther will be stripped away.
Stripped away.
Stripped away. Yes.
Are you not even gonna entertain my?
No. I feel like Roman Cody without the shenanigans, even without the grandioseness, was already a 5-star match as is.
The first half was great.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good in its own right, but it was a different type of wrestling. I almost can't even compare it because like I think you're kind of alluding to, I do feel like Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles was more the pure art of wrestling. While I do think that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns was going for the theater of professional wrestling.
Sure.
So I don't know if I can compare the two. If you want to tell me that Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles was a better, technically proficient match,
yes,
sure, I'll give you that.
Pro wrestling. Sports entertainment match, Roman and Cody.
Yes. But I think they're both perfect matches in their own right.
For sure. That's what I love about the Match Club. We talked about ranking the matches that we have on Patreon for the Wrestling is Cool Match Club, but then we decided, all these matches are different. They're different in their own right. A ladder match serves different kind of pacing than a traditional match. And there's going to be different matches for the Ultimate X.
King and Queen of the Ring. We've already gotten it started. We've already had some bangers. We had Sheamus versus Gunther, where Gunther tapped out Sheamus.
So mad.
In my opinion, I feel like Sheamus should have passed out.
Yes.
Or the ref calls it, or just something that protects.
Rich Holland comes out, throws a flag, Talon.
Sure, just something. But it was a great match in its own right.
Sheamus, who's supposed to be the toughest dude on the roster, who has the fighting spirit of one of the of Cody Rhodes, basically. Who, by the way, Cody Rhodes took a burning hammer and just one counted out of that. Why do that to Sheamus, man? I don't care if it was. I know they were over. There was like a minute after the hour, so maybe they cut it short. But nah, man, just do the Stone Cold. I feel like they're just protecting Stone Cold's finish. They don't want anyone to come near that sharpshooter finish again.
And Ricochet and IlJA Dragunov, that was an amazing match. Holy smokes.
I thought IlJA landed on his face during that superplex.
That's what IlJA does. IlJA.
Does he?
Oh, dude, every single IlJA match, free or premium live event, every single time I'm like, IlJA, you don't need to make it look like you died every single time. Because IlJA will make a clothesline look like he got shot in the back of the head. That's just what IlJA Dragunov does. He scares me. He scares me as a person in the way that he sells moves because he's too believable.
Do you think that that's going to be a rivalry that just lasts forever?
What?
The Ricochet versus IlJA.
No. Ricochet
their
doesn't have it,
together. What are you talking about? It's the perfect and it's the Joker to the Batman for IlJA. Almost.
No, IlJA is Gunther. That's the angle.
But I like the two high flyers going at it, man. Okay. It may not be Batman and Joker. You're right about Gunther and IlJA. All right, I give you respect to that. But that's definitely Batman versus the Flash type of thing. It's like two similar type of styles. One's a little bit more flashier and Ricochet, and IlJA, man, that little forearm to the guy that's down, that's nasty, dude. And then he added a little bit of oomph by jumping and gets that delay airtime and bang. Come on. Only Ricochet is going to say, all right, dude, hit me with it, lay it in stiff. There's no other wrestler that's... You think The Miz is going to go like, all right, dude, lay it in stiff. No. Ricochet, Gunther, Sheamus are probably the only three that will let you lay it in that stiff. Maybe Kevin Owens.
I will never turn down Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov as an in-ring match, but as a proper feud, dude, if Ricochet couldn't make it interesting when he was feuding with Logan Paul, come on, dude.
That's not on. That was, first of all, that was a young Logan Paul in his career. It's like, let's be real about that.
Logan Paul like completely outclassed him as a storyteller.
I know, but I'm saying a Logan Paul now, I don't think he's gonna try to bury you that way.
Little brother Jay tried to step up to me.
He buried Jay.
He did. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I understand, and a lot of fans are out there like Ricochet just does not have it, and we keep giving him chances. That's for sure. I thought for sure the WWE. I predicted Ricochet was gonna win because I was like, dude, that's your speed champion. But as soon as he walked out without the belt, I was like,
they don't care about the belt.
Gonna win this. Exactly.
Dude, I think we predicted that. Don't I have a prediction? I have a prediction where I said on this show that we never see the speed belt on TV. I feel like I heard you say that before. We never see the speed belt on TV. It's a toy. It's a toy, dude. It's for a totally different universe. It's not for this. It's not canon.
It's a little Velcro belt.
Yes, dude. It probably is. Dude, that match was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And what makes that work so well is the King of the Ring has stakes. Like the King, every match had stakes. It was to advance. And we said as here at Wrestling School, we called it early that the King of the Ring needs to have matches off of that PLE.
Yes.
Because when they have the matches off the PLE, because you can't have that quality of a match and then still have to wrestle again later on that night.
Exactly. It looks like, at least at first glance, that the only King and Queen of the Ring matches at the PLE are going to be the finals, which is exactly how it should be.
I think semifinals and finals. At least two.
No, man. I would say let them be able to go 20 plus minutes, because you can't do that if you're gonna then have them have a 10-minute semifinal. I know, but you complained that Backlash did not give enough opportunities to multiple different people. If you have two King of the Ring matches and you still have, your title matches to help it make it feel special, you have your feud matches, you can have it be more of a traditional WWE PLE with the stakes of the two individual matches. That could be 5-star matches that you would be making into a 4-star match by making them have a semifinal on the same day. Right.
Wrong. You said you used the word traditional, but are you forgetting? You go ahead, mock me with your seal face. Are you forgetting that King of the Ring is supposed to be a tournament in that day? You need to have a little bit of the tournament in the King of the Ring, because that's what makes the King of the Ring cool. No. It's literally a tournament that happens the same.
You are getting the tournament. It's 2024, bud. Get with the times, man. Things are different.
That's what makes Stone Cold so cool, dude. He decimated everybody and then he beat Jake the Snake Roberts. You bump your thigh Bibles.
There is far more evidence that we have available to tell us that model doesn't work anymore. I'm not saying a full bracket. Semifinals, finals. Yeah, but you need to pick your argument, brother, because you're reciting examples where the whole tournament happened on the show.
Yeah, I know.
But now you're like, oh well, let's bring it. What is it?
Let's bring this hybrid.
No. Finals. No. Axe it, gut it, give me the finals, let them go 30 minutes and give them a world title opportunity when they win. Please make that a little extra garnish on top.
Who fills out the card then? They already announced like randomly, Becky and Liv, we're gonna fight at the Queen.
How randomly? That's not random.
It felt random. First off, that promo was whack. The interview with Becky Lynch,
the Becky Lynch promo was whack. Now the Liv stuff.
Becky, they need to stop sending her out on things like that. Yeah. It felt like that would be an interview you see like on a pre-show.
Bro, that is the second time in 4 months she's tried to get a hat over. You guys like the hat?
I feel bad for Becky because it's not her fault. It really is not her fault. I think it's production's fault. They cut matches from the card Raw. I hate that not all the King of the Ring is not on the card, because it just depletes the reason why that they're not on it. Like Kofi versus Ray is a Monday Night Raw match. At any time of the day, any era, that's a Monday Night Raw match.
Just to clarify, you're explaining that these are on non-televised shows.
Yeah, these are at live events.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And then to have the defending Queen of the Ring, Zelina Vega, not on Raw against Shayna Baszler.
It's messed up.
Come on.
That's messed
Come
up.
on.
You know what?
Come
There
on.
we agree. There we agree. But look,
Yes.
King and the Queen of the Ring already has 4 matches, dude. The 2 finals, the Becky Lynch match, and the Sami Zayn triple threat. Like, we're already getting 2, and you want to toss in 2 matches to make it 6, and then we're gonna need to toss in a couple more matches to round out the pay-per-view so that it's nah. I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see it.
Look in my eyes.
What do I see?
Does LA Knight make the finals?
I think so. I think we could be looking at Gunther versus LA Knight.
Ooh, because you know why?
Saudi loves LA Knight.
There you go.
Yes, that's exactly why. So people are like, Randy Orton, it's gonna be Randy Orton, Gunther. I'm like, brother, do you not remember the pop for LA? It was like the only pop, bro. He was like the only one that could get them off their feet. LA Knight is gonna be in Saudi. He's gonna be on the show. And I think it's the final. I think it's Gunther, LA Knight.
Smell that?
This is the
Premium. Yeah. How does it feel?
Not organic glaze.
How does it feel?
I'm not glazing.
Yes, you are.
That is not a glaze. No.
Yes, you are.
No, that's just typical normal bro conversation.
You are loving LA Knight. You are seeing the error of your ways. You will be basking in the glory the day that LA Knight is going to get really, really close and lose to Gunther.
Do you think that they rob us through shenanigans, I would presume, from giving us Gunther versus IlJA Dragunov as part of the Raw bracket?
Oh, like IlJA gets hurt or something?
Oh yeah,
like
Ludwig attacks IlJA in the back and prevents, because I feel
they have to.
They can't let this match happen yet, right?
They already robbed us of Sheamus going far. Like, I wanted Sheamus to go really far into the bracket. Like have Gunther and Sheamus on opposite ends, and then let them have that close fight in the semifinals. It's just too soon. Like, dude, the King of the Ring has some banger matches already, like Jay versus IlJA, right? Like, whoo.
Yeah.
I don't think Jay makes it.
No, I think Jay is gonna get screwed over by Judgment Day in the next round.
Yep.
And IlJA like won't see it or whatever. But
yeah.
I do think that he gets screwed over by the Judgment Day.
You think Jay Uso's gonna take that for him? Nah.
No way.
You think?
No way, Us.
You think? So I'm gonna come in with the front. Nah,
dude,
man.
IlJA Dragunov has a top rope version of that, the Super H bomb. Yeah, and it's this. Now that's his triple crossroads. That he only pulls that out for like big title matches.
See, that feels like an organic finisher, like a super finisher.
Dude, I love that IlJA Dragunov forearm. I like it way more. He does this other move called the Torpedo Moscow, where he like runs at full speed. Like I don't like that one as much.
It's the Luigi, dude.
It is the Luigi. It is the Luigi from Smash Brothers. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to unsee that. You ruined that for me.
What do you mean? It's come on, dude. I've only seen it once, and it's an instant connection for me. That's that Luigi move, dude. That
is. Oh, it'd be a fun concept, a WWE Smash Brothers type of game, with finishing moves as your Smash Ball. That'd be cool.
I know
it would sell terribly, probably, but it'd probably be a terrible financial investment. But I'd play it.
The problem is like right now there's like a rush for like a Smash like game because there is a hole. There's like Smash Brothers is already tapped out and they're not going to make anything until maybe Nintendo Switch 2. But essentially, you have the Warner Brothers game where it's like multiverse where it's all the Warner Brothers characters. And then you have the Nickelodeon game with Nicktoons. I think it'd be interesting if they just say like, yeah, we're copying Smash Brothers. That's what happened to PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. They were like, no, we're not Smash Brothers, and they try to do their own thing. But dude, that'd be sick. Any video game iteration of wrestling is a banger to me. I would love it because it's just another way to get closer to the product. But IlJA, I think, won't face Gunther. You can't do that.
No, you can't. That's a bash at Berlin, right? It's gotta be bash at Berlin with both of their super close ties to Germany. Like, dude, they would go nuts.
That might make you mad.
Okay, go ahead.
They should add a guitar to IlJA's theme. It's just something's missing from it for me. I'm just saying.
What's missing from perfection?
Oh, a heavy guitar.
It's an opera, bro. Where do you have Van Halen coming in the middle of an opera?
You ever heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra? The great Christmas metal? Come on, bro.
I've heard of them.
You never heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
I have heard of them. Okay. Yes, I have heard of them.
Okay, I was about to say you're Canadian. It should be like right up your wheelhouse.
They're the ones that every like super rich person with the really nice Christmas lights will like put it to the beat of their music.
Yes.
Sorry guys, there's no middle class person doing that. Not a single middle class and under person is doing that. That's a rich person thing.
Middle class, we use like wrestling themes, bro. That's what we were all about.
Dude, I hear voices in my head.
The Christmas tree singing that.
Oh, I mean, I guess that kind of counts like a because here at Wrestling is Cool. We don't just give you wrestling; we give you high society conversations, right? We've talked about the Great Gatsby, Death of a Salesman. I think we did. We talk about the Merchant of Venice, that Scottish play that you don't. Yeah, we've done it all. Is there any high society play that you'd like to talk about here? This is the
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. All right, how can we connect that to the world of the WWE? Tell us about Pride and Prejudice.
No, I don't. Was it Jane Austen? I am not that. That's one of my worst traits as a theater major. People will come to me with like these high society or name a playwright, and I'd be like, I don't know, I'm dumb.
Oh man, where are we? We were supposed to talk about Becky Lynch. We already kind of talked about that. You're not feeling this so much, huh?
No. It's not because it's Hogan and Becky. I hate that analogy. It's just more that Becky, they have no plans for her run, and you could just tell. It's a bummer. I know you want this, like, it should mean much more if Liv pulled the belt off of her, but look at all the time that we're wasting for a Liv run. It would have been much more engaging to me to have Liv Morgan run around with the belt when she didn't really earn it, versus this.
Okay, I hear you. I hear where the benefits would have been of Liv Morgan delusionally carrying that thing as if, she beat Rhea. And I also don't want her to win at Queen of the Ring.
She's going to.
That's not the right crowd for that.
Too bad. That's what you asked for.
That's wow. That's what you asked for. Your fault. You did this. Look at your mess.
Look at you now.
Look at you now, boy. Dude, that Becky Lynch promo was a tough watch. That was too long, too boring, and too meaningless. It was just.
Oh, and the crowd turned so quick.
Yeah.
You could feel the crowd booing or going.
Why wasn't that a backstage thing? Like, why did that need a whole, like, dude. So what I said was, how dare they put Zelina Vega on a live show over this, right? Like, this was a perfect amount of time for Zelina Vega versus Shayna Baszler. It's still a major women's segment. Tonight was an episode of Raw that didn't need the Becky Lynch stuff. Because the excitement of that episode of Raw was King and Queen of the Ring. And that like 10, 15-minute segment with everyone that got involved, because we had Damage Control come out as well to plant their flag in the main event scene of the women's side for Monday Night Raw. That could have been a women's match. That could have been a women's Queen of the Ring match for sure.
Well, it was Becky was there to put the women's roster over that were in the ring in the tournament, but I was like, let the action of them put themselves over. A Becky rub that's a verbal Becky rub is not going to do anything for me, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
The Lyra Valkyria coming in for the save didn't do anything for you?
Nope.
Me neither.
I wanted a big, like, this is like her entrance and be like, this is her coming out. This is going to be exciting, but it kind of fell on deaf ears when it comes down to Lyra having that feud with Becky. I know they try to highlight that before she came out, and so you could go like, oh, now they're saving each other. It just
somebody compared Lyra's entrance to a glorified jobber entrance because she came out and made the save, and then had to stay in the ring right for her match. Yes. That's a very good Lyra
That's
Valkyriaism, actually. That's very good. That's what she does. But she got to run in and make the save, but then she didn't get her entrance for her match.
That's what I'm saying.
Because she's got theatrics to her match, because like to her entrance, she comes out like with the feathers.
The feathers. Yeah.
We didn't get to see that, so I can't remember who it was, but I think that was a good comparison. I think that was a very glorified jobber entrance.
Bummer.
Still though, I'm pumped for Queen of the Ring. Iyo is dude, that's my pick. Iyo's my pick.
Shout out to Natalya, man. She worked that match. Awesome.
How can people hate Natalya, dude?
I don't hate her. I don't hate her.
I know you don't. That was more of an overarching statement. There's so many people that do, and like I just feel like it's for no reason. It's for no reason whatsoever.
She did have a run where it was just like, all right, we get it, right? She did have one of those runs she would win a belt just to hold on to it. So I could see where that camp's coming from. Yeah, and she was featured a lot on the Divas show, the WWE Divas, where it's like, you know what I mean? But this version of Natalya is so good. It's so good. It's like probably this is the most refined, optimal version of Natalya that we're gonna get.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think it's her prime, but it's just optimal version.
I agree. I think this is. I personally think that this is the best version of Natalya. I think that she's putting on some of the best in-ring work of her career.
Well, I think there's a difference between prime and optimal. It's like a vet that exactly knows what he needs to do, and it's so good at it. It's like
she's hitting every note with what she's doing, and whether there might be more limitations now because of her age versus what she could do back in their 20s. The way that she's maneuvering herself through the matches, through the feuds, you can't tell, in my opinion. She's doing some great stuff in NXT. I feel like, dude, it's like, dude, why isn't Shinsuke down there? Like, let's give Shinsuke a new breath of fresh air that he desperately needs it. It's working for Natalya. It's working for Baron Corbin. It worked for Baron Corbin. Not working, worked. Let's do that with Shinsuke, man.
Did you see Xavier's tweet about him saying like WrestleMania in Vegas?
Yeah.
Keep Corbin out of
this there. He's like, this is how we get bum ass Corbin again. Oh man, the WWE days of 2019 Corbin, like 2019 to 2022 Corbin, man, that was a man that was pushed down our throat and just did not work. But shout out to Corbin for doing everything in his power to elevate himself again. He's good. Good stuff.
He's very good. He's very good.
He's in the King of the Ring.
Is he?
Yeah, well, I think there was a leak. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's against Carmelo Hayes.
He's going to lose, bro.
Yeah, he's going to lose. He's going to lose.
I can't. That breaks my heart.
Depends on how he loses. I think he could lose in a valiant way. No, you don't think so?
No, I think Xavier was right.
This is the start of bum ass Corbin. Dude, that'd be hilarious. Is within 6 months he just regresses back, and it's like, okay, the problem isn't Corbin, the problem's the main roster for him.
Yeah, exactly. Send him back to NXT. I think one of the glaring omissions, and I know they hinted at it a little bit, was Braun Breaker not being in the King of the Ring. It's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Considering you have Carmelo Hayes on the other side, you have IlJA Dragunov, and you have Lyra Valkyria. I wouldn't be surprised if on the women's side you have Tiffany Stratton. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Not sure what's going on there.
Either they're going to put him in the IC.
That's
picture?
the vibes I got. Like, oh, I've got something for you.
Or do they put him in the heavyweight picture?
Either way, it's got us talking and not talking in a good light about it. So hopefully they start to do something with Braun Breaker, because he wouldn't be making the new Heat order, which is what we're going to transition to.
We're going to transition to, and I'm running up against. For those of you who know, at the time of this recording, it's my birthday, and my parents are going to take me out to a nice Mexican dinner. They're probably going to embarrass me, make me put on the sombrero or something, like, and have that. Nice. Those waiters. If I was a waiter, I would hate to sing Happy Birthday to people. You know what I mean? I'd be like, get out of here. Who cares?
Dude, I'd relish it. I'd relish it.
I'd
be like, I love Remo Fenome, la 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 la. Okay, they sang that.
Dude, I'd be so hype about that. But yes, let's go through this quickly, y'all. I appreciate the time. And for those of you who don't know, the new Heat order is just a list of 10 wrestlers who are doing it for us or getting us excited. It's the buzz. The vibe is not necessarily the best wrestlers on the list. They are just the ones that we want to see next. Now, after Backlash and Monday Night Raw, we are going to create a new heat order, but this is the one that you have now. Number 1, Bloodline 2.0, Logan Paul at number 2, Jey Uso at number 3, number 4, Chad Gable, number 5, Cody Rhodes, number 6, the Dirty Live Connection. Have you seen the stash from Dirty Dom?
It's even dirtier.
Dude, it's so good. Carlito at number RKO at number 7, number 8, Tiffany Stratton, number 9, Braun Strowman, number 10, Trick Williams. I'm gonna go ahead
for that one.
Yeah. And then your comments, hey, Sancho, why don't you let Santi put Trick Williams? Because at the very beginning of NXT and all this heat order, we decided not to put NXT because I can't watch NXT. Okay, so that's the whole point of the new heat order. It's a combination of Santi and me making this list. You fools, respectfully.
you knaves.
Yeah, oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
It's like the European influence is coming off of you. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna take Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom off. They're not doing anything. I'm also gonna take off. I'm just writing this list here. I'm also gonna take off Trick Williams, and respectfully, and I'm also gonna take off RKO. I think they're kind of cold now after losing at Backlash. Also gonna take off Logan Paul. Hasn't been there in a while. So I'm taking off Logan Paul, the Dirty Live Connection, RKO, and I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna keep Tiffany on there maybe, and then I'm gonna take off Braun Strowman, just because he had that one little segment. So that leaves us. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spots to fill. The ones that are staying are Bloodline 2.0, Jey Uso, Chad Gable, Tiffany Stratton, and Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Right off the bat, I'd like to submit the case for Ilya Dragunov. Major in-ring debut as a main roster member and absolutely crushed it.
Okay, I agree. He's not number 1 though.
No. I'm just saying to
Who is
put
number
in
1?
there. I think Bloodline, honestly, still.
No.
You don't think with Tanga being added?
No, I don't think so. I think
AJ Styles?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes at number 1.
Yes. First title defense, successful. It was a great pop for him when he wins. It was a great match. Cody Rhodes at number 1.
Fine.
Yes. Number 2, I'm gonna put AJ Styles.
No. You cannot put the Bloodline just expanded, brother.
Yeah, but it's Tanga Loa, dude. It's not Jacob Fatu.
I know it's Tanga Loa.
Okay.
It's Camacho.
Number 3. Where's his bicycle? Number 3, AJ Styles.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Thank you. Number 4. Now, they put main event Jay in the first round, and they try to recapture the magic. Does main event Jay going at 4?
Yeah, I think you got to have main event Jay. I think he walked out with so much main event aura out of Backlash.
I hate that word.
Aura?
Hate it.
Okay.
Hate it.
How about moisture?
Ooh.
A lot of main event moisture.
I like the word pizzazz.
A lot of main event moisty pizzazz.
All right. We're up against it. Number 5, Ilya.
Okay.
Number 6, I'm going to go with Gunther.
Okay. I think that's good too.
Yeah, Gunther. Number 7 is we have now available from the previous week. Chad Gable is the one that's left that we haven't ranked yet.
I would say Chad Gable's off.
Really?
This week. He didn't really get to do too much.
Yeah.
I'd have CM Punk in there over him right now.
That's what I was going to say. Number 7, even though it's just a promo, I think it was just cool how they presented it.
Yeah, but dude, did you see all his social media shenanigans? He was like the talk of the town over the weekend.
You used the Kendrick Lamar bar.
Yes.
It was really good. So number 7, CM Punk?
I would have CM Punk, yeah.
Okay. Where do we have anyone else? So where does Liv Morgan? Does Liv Morgan stay? I mean,
let me make the case for Wesley from NXT. Wesley was a man that was supposed to be out for injury for an entire, for like a year and a half. A spinal injury. He had an injury.
Mouse.
Spinal.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that reference. Spinal. Anyways, he had an injury.
Okay.
He came back 4 months in.
I'm not going to let you do it. You said one time. You said one time.
Dude.
You said one time. You said one time. So you can't use that. Number 8. Do you think Liv Morgan got a little bit of wet blanket from Becky Lynch here?
Yeah, Liv Morgan is dealing with the baggage of the bad moment with like the bad Becky Lynch segment.
So who makes up 8, 9, and 10 then?
I think I might want to have Damage Control representing the women here. Yeah, Dakota Kai is sounding so good on the microphone. She had a great Queen of the Ring match. And then Iyo Sky is cooking and is one of the favorites, even though they lost.
I'll put them at 10.
I almost feel like Jade and Bianca should be in there as well.
Okay, how about this? Jade and Bianca at 7, Punk at 8.
Okay.
And I'm gonna call them. What are they? I'm just gonna call them the big 3 because I think Naomi deserves a spot too.
Okay.
Put them together. Put them all together. And then CM Punk at 8. Who's going to be 9 then? Who had a great show? Now we didn't really talk about Damien.
Still not, dude. He doesn't do it for me.
It's because he's stuck in this Judgment Day leaders role, and it's not good for him. And I think he needs to be more New York. He needs to let out that more New York side of him rather than being stuck as this goth leader. It doesn't work for him that much. It's just so silly to him when he moves. It's just you hear all the chains, the little metal chains running around.
Yeah, he'd be terrible at hide and seek.
Yeah, so he needs to be like more just a New York guy and just be like straight up, kind of like an Eddie Kingston type of vibe. Embrace that side of him a little bit more because that's when it works the most. And it's just so bizarre to me how they're like, hey man, Judgment Day, we're cool. We're all bros. We had a misunderstanding. But shout out to them for not, for supporting men, going through conflict, but still remaining boys. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That is what's up. But no, Damien. The thing is, his leash is so short, so every flub of a line is going to cost him a lot. And he did flub a little bit at the promo, but he's just on that spotlight where it's going to be that hard for him. The same thing as LA Knight. Every time LA Knight just flubs one little thing, everyone's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, so that's the hard thing about Damien, just because you have literally Jey Uso knocking at the doorstep for that title. And what another missed opportunity to put Jey on that. Man, that crowd would have exploded.
Oh my God, yeah.
If Jey would have been champion. So no Judgment Day here at 9 then, huh?
I don't think so.
Can I make a case? Damage Control at 9. We'll bump him up. Carlito.
I'm interested for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Dude, doesn't it feel like Dominic Mysterio is just trying to bring in a bunch of stray cats? Can we keep them? Just every single week, he's bringing in somebody else into the Judgment Day locker room. He like brings in Andrade. Can we keep him, Dad? Can we? Then he brings in Santos Escobar. And now he's bringing in Carlito. It's like bringing in a brand new stray cat every week.
No, mijo. Don't bring in that cat, mijo. That's Damien, basically. Leave him outside. He's an outdoor cat. Oh my God, dude. Oh, yeah, I think that's a good list. I'm intrigued in Carlito, genuinely. I think Carlito, when he was like, and that, my friends, is cool. I'm like, yeah.
We're back. We're so back.
We're back. I think it will work. And I kind of am excited about that.
Okay. I like the 10th spot as a
on the bubble.
You got, now you have my attention, before you had a little bit of curiosity. Now you got my attention type of thing.
This is where Tozawa was. And then Tozawa got this push.
Yeah. And man, Tozawa just getting reamed out backstage by Chad Gable during the CM Punk entrance.
I know. Makes you sad, doesn't it?
Folks.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Wrestling is Cool. Sancho's got to go to his birthday lunch. Sancho, what are you working on these days?
I am actually continuing working on actually launching the Sancho West Wrestling. There is one on YouTube. It's there, but we're going to start pushing it. I got my nice logo. I'm a big guy about logos and branding, so that's already got approved of, ready to go. So we're going to launch that very, very soon.
Fantastic. Folks, you can find me on anything SantiZap or anything Mr. SantiZap. Thank you very much for watching this. Sancho, if you got to run out here, run, because I'm going to read some patrons, because I know that you got a jet. Thank you to our $15 patrons for supporting us in what we do here. So a big extra bonus shout out goes out to 2022 Benjamin, AC Big Mac. We have Adam McLeod, Adrian Liu, Alex Regel? I'm going to be butchering this. We're live here, folks. Alan Crockett, Anita Maxwin, Austin Weaver, Ben Calloway, B Hostile, Brandon. We have 2 Brandons. We have 3 Brandons. Brandon Cannell. We have Bryce Burt, Buxo, Caleb Owens, Callum Wood, another Callum Wood, Carter CB, Chew Poppy, Chris the Postman, Cody Cook, Connor Williamson, Daniel Dar, David Miller, Drew Ashford, Evo, I Satch My Peanuts, what the hell, Fish Reel, Gamerscape, Garrett Coons, Gary Matthews, Gavin Alves, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Good Popo, Harvey Couchman, Hayden Thornton, Heigl, oh man, we've got ourselves a Nordic name. I think it's Heigl. I think it's Heigl. And then the last name, brother, I don't think I could say that. It's too difficult. It's like Halderson. I'm sorry. Ileana, it's Mr. Jacob Marciel, Marciel, Jacob Simmons, James Abel, Jassim Alcazar, Gene. I feel like the enjoyment of this is trying to listen to me pronounce these names. Jesse Jizzed Juicer Juggy. What is that username, dude? Jonathan Daly, Kian Dean, Lil Shifu, Lord BBNJ, Lucas Wittenhagen, Manly Man, Manny IDK, Marcos Gonzalez, Mason Kirk, Matthew Reach, Monte Moore, Nick Harvey, Nicholas Kyle, Ollie, Owen Miller, Phoenix, RTA, Rick Dutcher, Robert Dalton, Roberto Dickbutt, Rocky, Rodolfo Reyes, Ryan Williams, Scoob Dub Nation, Sherry, Silver Football, Spencer Schnartz, I think I got that right, Squirts McIntosh, gross, Stephen Rhodes, Stephen Amay, Stucky, Super Malachi Galaxy, Joe Man 21, Joe, the McBro 2022, the McBro 22, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, 2 Crown, Wesley Simpson, Whip 1, Xavier Izquierdo, Yag Nori, Yellow Wonton, Yo Chris, York V2, YRG, Zergzito. My goodness, that is the most amount of $15 producers that we've ever had. Thank you so much, folks, for the support. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Wrestling is Cool. Be good people.